Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. I'm your anchor, Name, bringing you a recap of the latest global news. In a dramatic turn of events, tensions in the Middle East have escalated as Iran's influence has grown exponentially. The Trump administration's handling of the crisis has been criticized, with experts warning of a potential nuclear deal being watered down. We'll break down the key developments, from the Navy's threat to mine-laying boats to China's surprise stockpiling of oil before the conflict began. Let's dive into the latest news. As tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate, a crucial chapter in Donald Trump's presidency has taken an unexpected turn with devastating consequences globally. The Iran war has backfired spectacularly, according to Professor Fawaz Gerges of the London School of Economics. The war, which began in January 2020, was sparked by a series of incidents between U.S. forces and Iranian troops in Iraq. The conflict escalated rapidly, with the U.S. launching airstrikes on multiple Iranian targets and Iran retaliating with missile strikes on U.S. military bases in Iraq. The ceasefire that took hold last month is now indefinite, and it's clear that the war has not achieved its core objectives. Unlike previous wars against Iran, this one did not lead to regime change or force Tehran to submit to American demands. Instead, the conflict has had a profound impact on the global economy. The sanctions imposed on Iran have led to significant economic pain, far beyond the region, and slowing the global economy. Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz has become its most potent deterrent. This strategic waterway is critical for global trade and energy shipments, and Iran's ability to disrupt it would be a devastating blow to the world economy. The prospect of this happening at both Hormuz and Bab el-Mandab, a choke point in the Red Sea, is alarming Gulf rulers who are scrambling to hedge against this new instability. The U.S.'s Gulf allies are now looking elsewhere for security guarantees, building alternative arrangements with regional powers like Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey. The consequences of this shift will be far-reaching, with potential implications for global stability and security. As Professor Gerges notes, the war has reshaped the region in unintended and destabilizing ways, setting the stage for a new era of competition and conflict. As tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate, a pressing question remains: what will be the cost of swift diplomacy with Iran's nuclear program? The Trump administration's push for a quick end to the Iran war has raised concerns that President Donald Trump may secure a weaker nuclear deal than the one he walked away from in 2015. The U.S. and Iran had been engaged in negotiations with European powers over the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA, which imposed limits on Iran's nuclear program. However, Trump unilaterally withdrew from the agreement in 2018, citing concerns over Tehran's ballistic missile program and alleged human rights abuses. Despite this, experts say that a new deal may not address these issues, as it focused primarily on nuclear verification and proliferation concerns. The JCPOA was seen as a key achievement of the Obama administration, limiting Iran's ability to develop nuclear weapons while allowing for limited economic sanctions relief. With tensions between the U.S. and Iran still high, Trump has expressed his desire to finalize a new deal by mid-February. However, critics argue that any agreement may not be significantly better than the one he abandoned in 2015. Iran has long insisted that it will not accept any deal that imposes restrictions on its nuclear program, which is seen as a key component of its national identity. The Trump administration's demands for greater transparency and verification measures are likely to be non-negotiable for Tehran. The fate of the Iran nuclear talks hangs in the balance, with little clarity on what a new agreement would entail or whether it could meet the concerns of all parties involved. Following a recent escalation in tensions with Iran, President Trump has issued a stark warning to vessels navigating the strategic Strait of Hormuz. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued an order for the U.S. Navy to engage and destroy any boat laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. This move comes as tensions between Iran and the United States continue to escalate. The threat specifically targets small craft, with Trump stating that any such vessel will be shot and killed. The U.S. president also claimed that Iran has no navy left after losing all 159 of its ships in a conflict with the U.S. last year. This order follows recent warnings from the Pentagon about the risks of clearing advanced mines in the region. Defense officials have stated that this process could take months, which raises concerns about the potential disruption to global energy supplies. The move has been welcomed by Israel, which has signaled its intention to increase pressure on Iran. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said his country was prepared to resume the war against Iran and was awaiting a green light from the U.S. to launch further attacks. The IDF is reportedly ready both defensively and offensively, with targets marked for future action. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical waterway for global oil supplies, with nearly 20% of all crude oil passing through it. Disruptions to shipping in this region could have significant economic implications, making Trump's order particularly timely. The situation remains volatile, with no clear resolution in sight. As tensions rise in the strategic waters of Hormuz, a delicate dance of diplomacy and deterrence unfolds, with implications for global energy markets. The Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for global oil supplies, has become a focal point in the escalating tensions between Iran and the United States. The situation began to deteriorate after U.S. President Donald Trump's administration failed to reach an agreement with Iranian officials during their first round of talks in Islamabad last month. Despite initial optimism about a potential breakthrough, the negotiations ultimately stalled. The ceasefire that was set to expire on April 22 was extended, but only after Tehran decided not to attend further discussions, citing Washington's refusal to meet key demands. These demands included lifting the blockade on Iranian ports and releasing the Iranian vessel Tosca, which had been seized by U.S. forces earlier. The measures imposed during the ceasefire itself were seen as a significant escalation by Iran. Trump's public remarks have also contributed to the growing distrust between the two sides. His administration has repeatedly issued contradictory statements, often fueling speculation about the true nature of their intentions. These mixed signals have made it increasingly difficult for both countries to engage in meaningful dialogue. The current standoff is marked by a delicate balance of power. While the ceasefire may have prevented an all-out war, the ongoing tensions in the Strait of Hormuz suggest that the situation remains volatile. The risk now is whether this controlled confrontation can hold or tip into a more severe escalation. With both sides appearing keen to avoid an open conflict, the future trajectory of this crisis remains uncertain. The implications of this situation are far-reaching, with potential consequences for global oil supplies and regional stability. As tensions continue to simmer in the Strait of Hormuz, it is essential to monitor developments closely and assess the likelihood of a resolution or further escalation. As tensions escalate in the Middle East following a U.S.-Iran conflict, Beijing's surprise actions have raised eyebrows around the world. According to data released by the U.S. Energy Information Administration, China has amassed a staggering stockpile of oil, surpassing that of any other country. This significant reserve is now being touted as a strategic advantage in the current global energy landscape. The surge in China's oil stockpile is largely attributed to its positioning on the world stage following the Iran war. The conflict, which began last year, has resulted in the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial shipping route for oil, being largely shut down. This has led to an oil shock, causing prices to skyrocket and disrupting global supply chains. China's massive oil reserve is seen as a key factor in its emergence as a huge winner in this scenario. With over 70% control of the world's oil supplies, China has significantly increased its bargaining power on the international stage. Its ability to stockpile oil has allowed it to weather the current energy crisis with relative ease. The implications of China's oil reserve are far-reaching and significant. As the global economy grapples with the consequences of the Strait of Hormuz closure, countries such as the United States and Europe are struggling to find alternative routes for their oil imports. Meanwhile, China is able to maintain its economic momentum, driven by its vast domestic market and strategic energy reserves. The story highlights the increasing importance of energy in global geopolitics, with China's oil reserves serving as a prime example of its growing influence on the world stage. That's all for today's news recap. We've seen the unexpected consequences of Trump's actions, from the Iran war debacle to China stockpiling oil. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Our team will continue to bring you in-depth analysis and breaking news as it happens. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.